It's MOH Show, and we're back, baby. I'm here with Tyrone and Aiden. Episode 6.
Meow.
It's time for the money shot, guys. Of course, I'm brought to you with apple cider, champagne.
Sir. I'm brought to you by Captain Morgan. Sponsor me, okay?
I'm brought to you by Protein.
So, a little different today, guys. Heading into 2023, the MOH Show is prospering, and we're going to be streaming on Apple Music, Spotify, and all streaming platforms.
Yes.
Here on after 2023. I'm excited for this, guys.
Absolutely.
How you guys feeling?
Hey, feeling great, bro. Motivated. Ready to keep pushing forward.
That apple cider got me tingling.
I will let all the viewers know, if you are listening to this, and I'll mention this every single show, if you're listening to this on Apple Music, Spotify, whatever, come to the lives. Because these Apple Musics or these podcasts are going up the next morning, Saturday morning. We're live the night before. Show up to the live, and you'll see it live rather than listening to it.
So you can take up a fucking money shot with us.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there's things you won't see.
Yep.
All right, but we're going to be adding some new stuff to the MOH Show. Example, newsletters. So we'll either be doing a weekly or a daily, depending on how the MOH Show is feeling.
Yep.
But it's going to include motivation, stories on how to become a better discipline on yourself, on just in life in general. So what are we talking about today, boys?
Hey.
You know what?
We got a lot.
We got a lot. But we're going to be talking about predictions for 2023.
Yep. We're also going to talk about some of the stuff Tyrone brought. We got space travel, cars, just basic stuff that's happening in 2023 that you guys can look forward to. But before we move on to that stuff, I do want to mention the newsletter. We don't know when that's happening, but that newsletter will not only have motivation, but it will keep you up to date with what's happening in the MOH Show.
Right.
Hell, down the line, maybe no, you're good, bro. Maybe there's a secret video in there, like from one of us. You know what I mean? A little sexy. No.
For sale.
Huh?
My voice is not for sale.
So yeah, 2023, big year for the MOH Show. We're gonna keep it up.
Jax the
We're gonna keep it up. 4 videos a week.
Jackson. What did you just say?
It's a secret video. Sorry, I ruined it for you guys.
4 videos a week, 4 shorts a week, same content. You know what I mean?
Yep.
All right.
And look, the way it's set up here, bro, we are blasting off in a spaceship and we are heading far off. And if you don't hop on now, I'm sorry, we ain't turning back around. We ain't coming back to get you. I'm sorry, this is a one-way trip, not a two-way.
Yep.
Magic
So go ahead, go down.
Skylar's Miss Frizzle.
Yep. Hey, actually, bro, there's some crazy theories about that. I ain't gonna talk about it right now. Maybe we can talk about it later.
I'm the lizard.
But there's some crazy theories about
No
Magic
way.
School Bus. It's crazy.
Okay,
Bro.
maybe next show.
Hey, we'll talk about it at a different time.
We do a show every week. We got plenty.
We
of
got time. We got time.
A bunch of fun stuff coming up next year in 2023 for the MOH Show. I hope you guys stay tuned for it.
Absolutely.
Actually, yeah. So,
Absolutely.
you wanna start or you want?
I'll let you go, bro. I'll let you go.
All right. So, let me go ahead and get my phone out. I'm gonna start this part off by doing a little memento mori. Coming in 2023, we got a few cars that are being discontinued that is going to the graveyard, and I'm gonna be honest, some of them I might miss actually. One of them in particular I wanted when I was one of my dream cars,
Uh-oh.
But
He's gonna cry on stream.
I'm gonna cry, bro. But look, please hold all rest in peace signs. I can't believe that car is going extinct. All of it to the end. I'm looking at you. I know. I don't want to hear a sound. I want you to be quiet. All right.
Shh, baby girl.
So, starting off, we got the Acura? Is that how you pronounce
Acura.
it? Acura, whatever. Acura ILX. We got the Acura NSX, along with the Buick Encore. The Chevrolet...
The Buick Encore is going away?
Yeah. Shut up. Shut up. You too. I don't want to hear a sigh. All right. Anyways, we got the Chevrolet Spark, the Chevrolet Trax, as well as the Ford EcoSport, Ford GT, Honda Insight, We have the Hyundai. If we can rip off, I swear, those two are crazy. The Hyundai Accent as well as the Hyundai Veloster, whatever. How we pronounce that name? I don't know. I don't
That's
really
too. Oh,
Shut up. Wait till the end. We also have the Jeep Grand Cherokee WK as well as the Lamborghini Aventador.
What?
Shush. Wait.
Okay.
We got the oh shoot, I don't know how to pronounce that last name. You want to pronounce that, the one under that one for me? The Lamborghini what?
Coochie.
The Lamborghini Coochie, rest in peace. We also have the Lexus RXL, as well as Mercedes-Benz A-Class, Nissan Rogue Sport, Toyota Avalon,
Rest
and
in
Toyota
peace.
CHR. Rest in peace.
All I gotta say is, if these companies are discontinuing these cars, you know, just give one to me.
Hey, yeah, for real.
Oh,
Hey,
like a
if you're
Lamborghini
done, go ahead and send it
Aventador.
my
Yeah.
way. Hey, the Aventador is one of my dream cars, and it's sad. Rest in peace. I'll miss you.
Man.
You know, Jeep was a surprise too, but that's
Buying
the
that
only
on
one. Oh,
GTA?
the Ford GT was also nice. Rest in peace. And the Mercedes Benz.
I'm assuming most of these are going. They're discontinuing them because, well, one, either they're just overdone, or
Yeah.
two, maybe they couldn't get them to be electric. That's my
Possibly.
other thought. Is
Yeah.
they're going? Everyone's has to go more electric because of the California laws. And one, most of these car manufacturers are based in Cali for their America stuff if they're not in China, or Japan, I guess. But I think it's just mostly electric because this law is coming into effect. So all these companies got to swap at some point here.
So I heard a saying by Elon Musk saying that Tesla is going to be the #1 company in the world because of its electric cars. What do you guys think about that?
I don't
It's
think so.
I don't. I'm on 50-50. I feel like it's starting to become that way already. No, because there are some really big cars. I'm gonna have to retract that. But innovative wise, possibly because they did usher in.
I think
electric
Tesla
car
was the
wave.
first one. They'll also be they'll also get outdone pretty quickly, if that makes
Fair.
sense. Like there's what starts with an R that got bought out by Amazon.
Rivian?
Rivian, yes. Like they got bought out by Amazon, the biggest company in the entire world. It's like Amazon is going to push that to the absolute max.
True.
Didn't Jeff Bezos buy like New York Times Post too or something?
Oh yeah, I mean he's been involved in all sorts of he's going to own everything at some point. I think.
He's got his hand in.
I also
every
don't
aspect.
think it's good that Elon Musk is like he's messing around a lot, like buying Twitter, acting like a fool on Twitter and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of nice shirt.
Appreciate it. I got it from Beast Training.
Yeah.
Clothing.
I wonder who made that.
Me too.
So Tesla stock is dropping, but I also think it's just like Elon's going to focus a lot more on SpaceX. I feel like that's what he
Yeah.
actually should focus on. All these companies can get into electric cars. Not every company can start going to space.
True.
So I feel like why would you focus on something that has so much competition when you can just start focusing on something that no one else is competing with besides other governments?
True, but he did revolutionize the Tesla.
Oh,
think
yeah.
about it.
Oh, 100%.
Before that,
Like he ushered it in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I'm just saying, just because you're the first to do it doesn't mean you stick around.
There's always going to be somebody There's always going to be somebody that's going to take over. There's
Yeah.
always going to be a new.
And there's so much
innovation.
competition now.
Yeah.
Almost every single car manufacturer has an electric car now, if not multiple.
Yep.
And honestly,
Ford,
I won't be shocked if Bugatti get one.
General
If they don't
Motors.
already
yeah,
have
it
one.
might already have one. I don't know.
Shoot.
I just think, plus, if you've ever seen car reviews on Tesla, they are so overpriced because the
yeah.
interior to Teslas are actual dog shit. Like these Rivian and all these other electric car companies have way better interiors. Ford, all these ones making electric cars have way better interiors.
Yep.
So it's like you gotta keep, just because you were the first doesn't mean you can't stop evolving.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Like people like you could peel away certain Tesla dashboards. Like the plastic on the dashboard, you can kind of peel up a little bit. It's like it's like you're paying $70,000 for that.
Well, see, what was
That's
that
a
car?
tough-
There was a
Shit, even Hummers in EV now.
Yeah.
Shit.
Hey, those look hard though.
Freaking
But what was it, the
military car
Lucid
right there.
or whatever the new
yes,
one electric? That one's
Lucid, yeah, it is
nice.
Lucid.
Oh, yeah,
It's nice.
Yeah.
But then also the what was that car? It was the concept car, but it was made for Avatar.
I think that was Mercedes. Was it BMW or Mercedes?
I don't remember, honestly.
Either.
I can look it up. That was hard. It was hard. It was gas.
Okay.
But anyways.
I'm kind of hard.
Okay. That's good. I ain't gonna lie. That's kind of hard. But speaking of the whole SpaceX and, Elon and everything, there's also quite a few space things upcoming in 2023. One of them being that NASA's, what I think it's Osiris Rex or REX, whatever. They have that little whatever it is was sent to an asteroid. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the name. I can go ahead and spell it for you, but I'm not even gonna pronounce it. I ain't gonna lie. It was sitting, collecting information, data, and everything like that, but it's set to return in September 2023. But besides that, we also have a few different events going on as well with the moon, for example. We have 4 different supermoons that's going to be happening. One of them being a blue moon, which is kind of hard. I ain't going to lie.
I can't wait for the memes when that's coming up. I'm going to be
honest.
Oh, yeah. There's going to be some crazy shit.
But there's also supposed to be 4 eclipses as well as a crap ton of meteor showers. Like, there's some in January, April, May, July, August, pretty much almost all year. A lot towards the end in October, November, and December. There's like 2 in each of those months. So there's quite a few space stuff going on. I'm not entirely sure what the whole asteroid situation is going to be when they finally get all the information back. I think they wanted to kind of understand the origin or whatever, the construction of the asteroid, basically. Pretty much gathering a crap ton of information, and the thrusters started like kind of projecting itself towards Earth. So sometime in 2023, we can expect some information, maybe from NASA, maybe not. They probably won't tell us anything because government never does. But it
has vibranium on it.
It does, for
sure, vibranium.
You're gonna see Black Panther soon,
Element 115.
Yeah, true. Actually, true. We have to blow up the Earth. We have to hide up on the moon.
But
fight some zombies.
That's all I got, man.
We got the spaceman up there.
The spaceman. Hey, I'm trying to see Silver Surfer, low key. Silver Surfer kind of hard.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't come with Galactus, I'm cool. You feel me?
What you got? What's happening in 2023, brother?
2023. I think a lot of things.
Okay.
Honestly, you know what? Let's just brace for impact. A lot of shit is gonna be happening in 2023.
Yeah.
We already are starting to see a lot of breakdown of what's going on with social media stars and getting exposed, like trying to expose Hollywood. Apparently Kanye West has been missing.
Yeah, I've seen that.
It's just one of Kanye's issues. He was spotted at a church yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, he was spotted at a church gathering and stuff like that. It's just Kanye going off the map.
Kanye being Kanye.
Okay. Well, actually, I like him doing this because every time he announces he does something, he never goes through with it. He was supposed to be gone the entire month of 2022. He was supposed to be on an island. He said he wanted no contact with anything. Then he's tweeting every week. He's on Alex Jones. Yeah. He didn't go through with it. He lasted on this island for a month. Okay, but now Kanye just disappears. I think it's actually good for him. Because he didn't announce he was going to do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Anytime this man, even albums. I mean, you could look at his album. As soon as he announces an album, never happens. As soon as he doesn't announce an album, it happens. So it's like, this man just has to stop announcing things and he'll actually stick with it.
So, what's it called? Another one is people that are trying to, speak out about, Hollywood and what they're doing. Have you guys heard about Panda Eyes?
No.
Okay. So,
Panda.
Your favorite celebrity, your favorite rapper, if you ever see them with like big eye-shaped circular rings around their eyes, it's because this is what's happening. There's a little, how do I say it? A little nervous system, or like a nerve in your anus that they push, and it has like a animal It has your more animal instinct, it brings out something in your
Let's try it live.
No.
No.
But here's what they're doing. With
Spread them.
no, that's crazy.
Tyler, get over
Let
here.
me finish.
Tyler, what did I say, Tyler?
Hey, yo,
Who is Skyler, bro? I'm sorry, bro.
Okay,
the hell?
so here's the thing, is that so they push this nerve, and what happens is your eyes start to like get a circular ring around your around your eyes, and they come out, take a picture with a cigar, and that's about it. But like if you're pushing that nerve, it comes out like more like you're more animal like.
Interesting.
Yeah. So what's funny is that people have been speaking out about like stuff like that. Interestingly enough, I've found out more stuff that okay, so everything that's going on with Andrew Tate, how you talked about you get 3 strikes with like if you're trying to speak out. First, they try to silence you. Second, they try to imprison you, and thirdly is they try to kill you. So right now it's on second stage. All right, I don't believe that, because what's going on? The Virgin Islands are suing J.P. Morgan.
Okay.
Here's why. Is because they had relations with Jeffrey Epstein, and they turned a blind eye to what Jeffrey Epstein was doing on the islands with all those young girls and the women, sending them to the island to do deep, like all those kinds of acts. And so the Virgin Islands are suing J.P. Morgan right now.
Interesting.
Yeah, so they're trying to cover that up and use Andrew Tate as a freaking distraction. So here, look at this while I cover up my wrongdoings.
Yeah.
You get me? So
My question to that is like,
Yeah.
why would they use Andrew Tate as a cover-up? Because it has nothing to do. Both can be in the news cycle because it's 2 completely different things.
right.
People that are looking at Andrew Tate getting arrested are not the same people that give a rat's ass about the Virgin Islands suing J.P. Morgan.
Yeah. It was just on other news.
Yeah.
Other news, like
Yeah.
if you didn't know, they're being sued. So because they turned a blind eye to Jeffrey Epstein. You guys know about Jeffrey Epstein?
Yeah.
Yeah.
His
so,
flag didn't hang itself.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what's going on in the world,
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I'll just kind of mention, like, as far as the whole situation with Tate, I'm not even going to bother saying anything. My fault. Didn't mean to play footsies with you there. I don't even want to kind of explain or share my point of view of anything until I have information about the truth or whatever. Because I don't want to be just another one of those media spawns that just hops on the bandwagon of whatever's going on.
That's fair. Yeah.
I just want to get information before I actually speak on a topic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to just start spewing out.
I think that's part of the issue with social media is it gives you insight into situations that either the public shouldn't really know about yet, or you shouldn't be able to gather an opinion on. You know what I mean? Like someone getting arrested or someone being accused of something. You know what I mean? Because it's like then you could start forming opinions before the verdict is even. That's kind of what happened with Tory Lanez to an extent.
That whole situation is a joke. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, that situation. Dude, I was looking more into that situation, right?
Yeah.
Because it was looking like a lot. It was like Tory, he didn't actually shoot her. Here's all this stuff, and then all of a sudden it's guilty on his end.
Yeah.
Turns out his label and management was paying news outlets to help Tory and not post certain stories for Meghan and stuff like that. Like his label was doing it.
Wow.
His actual label. Yeah. Crazy shit.
But see, here's the thing about that whole situation is that nobody's story makes sense. It's all contradicting. Everybody contradicts their own story.
Yeah, because some of the information we got was a complete lie from the label. Like the whole story about his DNA not being on the gun. His DNA, they put that as the headline. They paid him off to put that as the headline. His DNA wasn't on one part of the gun. His DNA was on a part of a gun, but there was too many handprints on that part of the gun, so they called it inconclusive. His DNA was on the gun though, but they paid certain news outlets popular within the hip hop industry that would be able to skew the mostly male audience and say he didn't have DNA, even though his DNA was on the gun. It was just inconclusive, so they couldn't use it because there was too many fingerprints.
Yeah.
Crazy shit.
Like, situation like that, I genuinely agree that shouldn't even be in the media until it's, like, the whole situation resolved. Yeah. Because of the fact that nobody's story makes sense, really, you can't necessarily prove him 100% guilty, like, without a shadow of a doubt guilty of this. Because, like, nobody, even the friend who agreed with Megan in the beginning that she was like, oh yeah, this all happened, and then once it gets immunity, says I lied about everything. Like, nothing makes sense. And it's just
the thought there though is that the label paid her off too.
I mean, I guess, yeah,
because
it's just a lot of.
Yeah, I agree. It's a weird situation, but that comes down to, it's just like, at the end of the day, Tory's label was trying to sway the court of public opinion.
Yeah.
Luckily, the court didn't get swayed by that. But that brings up a whole nother issue of danger.
Yeah.
Because it's like, in certain situations, you could sway the court of public opinion and get away with it.
Yeah.
Not like in federal court or something. I'm just talking in normal life. Like, you know, cancel. That's literally what cancel culture is. You sway the court of public opinion by either paying people off or lying and stuff like that. And then if people see the right story, if the right story blows up, they all believe that. No matter how much evidence happens to come out against that one story, if that's the story they saw first or the most powerful story, they'll believe that. It's disgusting. It's actually disgusting.
Yeah. Like, it's I don't know, man. At the end of the day, they say they weren't swayed by media or they, you know, anything like that. Like, let's be honest, you were. In some way, since you were like either rushed or whatever. You know, I feel like there was some type of pressure to help wrap this whole situation up. Whether that's on them alone or because unless you completely isolate somebody, take away all sorts of internet and everything, they're gonna see the media, they're gonna see what's going on in the outside world. And they're gonna feel some type of pressure or whatever to wrap this whole situation up.
I mean, at the end of the day, this story's been happening for over a year. This wasn't a quick case, so it's like, I don't know if I want to go as far as say they rushed it, because it's like, this has been a long ass case.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. At the end of the day, the fact that you have like nobody's story adds up or whatever, just it speaks volumes to me. It's like, okay, but how can you prove him guilty on all accounts of everything?
Fair enough.
So I'm just like, okay.
Wait, so is he going to jail or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has his sentencing. I don't know when his sentencing
January
is.
27th, I think, or something, or February. I don't know.
I don't want to spread information. I think it was like something was like up to like over 20 or something years.
Well, that's the maximum
The max,
sentence.
yeah.
He won't get that. Like,
Most likely
you hardly ever get the maximum sentence unless you are actually a complete piece of shit.
I mean, he could even probably get out on good time, for good time.
Also, at the end of the day, I don't care if Tory's in jail or not. To be fair, because he's a piece of shit, anyways. Like he's actually he's known to be a piece of shit. Like, this man's beat women and shit anyway. So I personally don't care. I mean, I'm not going to die on a hill, even if he was 100% innocent. I really don't care because he's a piece of shit. I honestly don't care that much. I'm not going to die on that hill.
Oh no. That's the only reason I think the whole thing is a joke. I just wish everything would have went a different way, or like, I don't care if he's proven guilty. I don't care, but I wish there would have been like more information or makes more sense of the way they did it. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think the other issue is just like in any case like this, especially when they're celebrities, it's like it's amplified because they're celebrities, but like in any case like this, you don't know all the details.
Yeah,
you don't know unless you don't know, because that's like the whole eyewitness theories. Like, if you talk to an eyewitness, literally, I think it's 5 minutes after, they will get information wrong, even though it was just 5 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you can't trust eyewitnesses. They have to only have like a very small amount of pool into what happened, you know what I mean? You have to look more into like DNA and that sort of thing, because eyewitnesses don't know shit. They really don't, especially in this situation. Is just like everyone was drunk, they were at a party, so like you cannot trust what anybody's saying. Like, you can't trust nobody
at all.
You can't trust anybody.
They could switch up the story just a little bit.
Yeah, just because they were absolutely hammered. You know, it's a celebrity party. These guys had like the best alcohol known to man.
Oh, way more than that.
Yeah,
way more than that.
It's like, you know what I mean? Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
It's always.
I didn't mean to say alcohol. I guess I meant intoxication of some degree.
Intoxication. Yeah.
All right. So my job.
Yeah.
Why are you smiling at me like that?
Because I snorted.
So I told them I would be coming today with predictions.
Okay.
Predictions suck. And I mean they suck.
What I was trying to do too.
I'm reading through these Reddit because I'm like, you know what? Reddit's probably the best case to get like some sort of realistic, like what people actually think of what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Not like some news outlets saying like, oh, this is what's going to happen or whatever based on their political bias or whatever. Reddit fucking sucks. These dorks stink. Okay, I'm reading through tons of threads, like literally hundreds of replies to this stuff. Not a single piece of good. All negative. Not a single piece of good. I legit got depressed reading this. I was reading out. I got to the point. I was like, I think 20 minutes into like researching for this. I said, I'm done. I can't even research it anymore because I was legit getting depressed. Everything was World War III starting. Putin's gonna nuke us. Famine's getting worse by the end of 2023. Like 30% of the world will be starving or like die of starvation. We're at our limit in terms of humanity. Even first world countries are gonna start dying from starvation. I'm like, holy shit. God damn it. I'm like, can I not see one good thing like about space? Like, oh, we're gonna go to Mars this year. No, we're all gonna die of hunger. That's what people are worried about. And I mean, what's interesting is like, I saw this guy said, instead of talking about the predictions here, I'm going to send you guys to this thread from our predictions last year. Hardly any of the predictions came true. And all the predictions last year, all negative too. So it's like, it's all your perception of what you think is going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Like, the people were saying the COVID pandemic's going to last, that sort of thing. And then people are like, oh, you're so right. Like this year, they were like, oh, the only thing they got right was about the COVID pandemic. I'm like, okay, to be honest, like, the COVID pandemic really only exists anymore in, I could be misinformed, but in China, to be honest with you. And China's overblowing it. Sure. Like, they're overblowing it for sure. And they're probably going to have another outbreak because they locked up for so long and now these people are rioting and now they're all together. So it's like you might have another outbreak because you didn't open back up, right?
Right.
But I'm just like, looking back at this thread from last year, I'm like, hardly any of this came true because you people are so unbelievably negative. Like, there's a lot of negative in the world, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But it's like, if you don't constantly involve yourself in the news, in different Reddit threads or social media, it's like, you have this negativity won't even exist because most of it's overblown or it doesn't affect you at all. It's like something happening in Africa that you're seeing and you're so negative about it. It's like, that won't even affect you. I mean, it's sad it's happening, but to an extent, it's like you got to save your own mental health too.
Yeah.
So, in conclusion, I have no predictions that I bring to the table because they all suck.
Yeah. People only watch the headlines, you know, and the headlines are just a marketing scheme to reel you in.
To make you to click. That's it. Because guess how that company makes money? By clicking.
By you viewing it.
Yeah, that's it. So it's like, of course they're going to be negative because that's what's going to get that emotional response in your brain and you're going to click.
Yeah.
It's disgusting because I was like, yeah, I'm not going back on Reddit. I'm like, holy shit. That is enough from me. That's actually enough. I can't do this.
So do you have a prediction yourself then? A positive prediction?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I didn't get that far in my brain. Let me think for a second.
How about you?
For what? For 2023?
Yeah.
You know what? All I'm going to say is I'm going to keep on focusing on what I got to do.
Fair enough.
I think the positive you should take for 2023 prediction-wise is stop looking at the world and look at positive for yourself.
Yep.
This is what I'm going to do this year. Not on no New Year's resolution garbage that you quit within a week.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm talking like, actually, I need to change my life this year in a big way.
Yeah.
Or like, even if it's not too much, I think New Year's resolutions fail because everyone focuses on physical.
Yeah.
You can learn or improve something about your mental health, maybe the way you think about a situation, the way you now act, and think about that as a positive. It's not all money, looking good, like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what's funny is how we were speaking earlier about neuroplasticity.
Yep.
So you know how I was so I was doing a little research on that, and I'll tell you a little bit about this, bro. So neuroplasticity is basically like, it's your brain and your spinal cord working. So the neurons that are in your brain, it creates new ones, or it like, depending on the type of patterns that you have. So you can always like, you know how they say that your brain is like, you can always teach an old dog new tricks, because it's true. So the way that I mean is by, so there's two types of things that happen in your brain. There's called the synapses that have potentiation and depression. And when I mean depression, I don't mean like the emotional, where people relate it to like emotions and everything. I mean, this is what happens with potentiation. Basically is, when you're learning something new, it's information that's being received into your mind.
Yeah.
Okay, that's creating it's creating new synapses for your brain. But what's happening with the neurons is it's creating branches. And the more you learn, the more you keep on doing that pattern, the bigger that synapse or the neuron grows. So you'll start feeling good doing that habit or doing that pattern or whatever it is, learning that knowledge. And whatever your old belief system, your old habits that were, what happens is they start to shrink. And so the ones that you are currently doing, they start to grow, creating new branches with each other, connecting more and more with each other. And it's just like, so what I mean by that is, when you're looking at like starting a new thing, it is hard. It is hard to do something in the beginning, but as time goes, you become more like, it becomes like a habit, because it is a habit. So that pattern starts to grow on you. So now, if it's a good habit, now you're doing like things differently, and it's just gonna change perception, the way you view things.
Yeah.
You get me? So I started incorporating like cold showers, and I've started getting used to it again, because I was sick for a little bit, and I was doing it before, but my body had gotten used to like the warm showers, just staying in and that's comfortability right there. But you got to be comfortable. If you want to grow, you got to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. You get me? And I have a saying for that, where I am most comfortable where I am uncomfortable, because it makes me feel the most alive.
Yeah.
You get me? Because it's true. So with that, I was learning about that, and there's two types. There was like, where your brain, it's just, your brain sends like new neural what's it called, like transmitters to like the other synapse. There's that one is sending, but like there's keys to it. So the more knowledge that you're learning, the more keys it'll create. But if you're not doing much, it'll create less keys, and it'll just stay stagnant.
Yeah.
And so there's another type that it creates branches, and these branches just interconnect with each other, creating a new pathway. The other ones just shrink, and that's about what neuroplasticity is. And so it's just creating new neural waves, neural like connections with your brain if you're trying to like do something new for your life. So if you're like looking for your New Year's resolution or something like that, it would be more beneficial for you to like think about like what neuroplasticity is, because like I go back to this, like if we learn a lot about physiology of ourselves, we can more so develop anything that we want to do for ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree.
So that was like a really interesting topic that I just love learning about the mind.
Yeah. I mean, the way I see it, like one thing I try to remind myself and live by is like, whatever you want, whatever you need. For example, I hate to talk about it because the New Year's thing, most people go to like fitness and stuff like that.
Yeah.
One thing is that whatever your mind and whatever you desire to do, right? Whatever your mind needs from your body will adjust to what your mind needs. So if you don't think you can go that mile, just do it. Go. Forget it. Don't think about it. Just keep going, and your body will adjust to what your mind needs. If you need, for example, when you start running, you can be sitting at an elevated regular heart rate and stuff, breathing normally. When you start running, your mind starts thinking, okay, now that I'm active, I need more oxygen. Your body adjusts and starts taking in more oxygen, helping you, all that. Your body will adjust. Just keep going. Don't think about it. Don't let if you let your mind catch up to you, right? Because the way it is, left and right side of your mind is like that. One side is way more logical and things like that. That logical side is also going to try to stop you.
Right.
And you need to shut that side of your mind up, because it might not allow you to become as disciplined as you need to be. So don't think about it. The best way the best way I can tell you to do that is the easiest way: count down from like 5 or something.
And that's a habit in itself. Starting something and then quitting.
Yeah.
That becomes a pattern in itself.
Yeah. And the way I say, like, if you can get your mind to be quiet for 2 seconds, force your body to start moving before your mind has the chance to catch up to you and tell you to stop. Because the second you stop for a second and think, it's too late. Because guess what? You're already behind. If you want to start New Year's resolutions, if you want to start working out and stuff, you're already behind. You should have started months ago. Not this week, not tomorrow. You shouldn't have waited until New Year's hit, not the first or nothing. If you wanted to learn something, you should have started a few months ago. If you want to start working out, you should have started a few months ago. Because now you're behind. And life is a race. It is a marathon. But now you're behind. And you need to catch up.
Yeah.
So you better start right after the show. Is what
Actually,
you're saying.
yeah.
What's interesting is what you just said, like you related to fitness, but that's actually the biggest piece of advice I give every single one of my clients that I have.
Yeah.
Is when you're in the event you're working out, right? You could apply this to everything, but just in working out, right? It's very easy to doubt yourself. So if you even have the little thought that was a little easy, you should go up in weight. So you can apply that to your life. You're comfortable. Today was a little easy. Immediately take the jump and just do whatever you want. In the working out case, just go up 5 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Don't even think about it, because if you give yourself even 15 seconds to think, you will talk yourself out of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'll just do it tomorrow. Oh, I'll just do it. So
you never do it.
You never do it, because then you'll think about it the next time. Like you said, it's a habit. You let yourself overthink every situation, and then you never end up doing anything because you're in the habit of constantly overthinking every situation.
Yep.
You want to get in the habit of just, boom. I think of just a little inkling of something, you just do it. Because it's like, then you don't even have time to doubt yourself. Because that's the first thought with anything that's with business, that's with starting anything creative at all. That's what we did with MOH right here is as soon as we had the grasp of an idea, we did it. Because if you give yourself time to think, you'll immediately doubt every decision that you're making. Especially if your situation just so happens to deal with money. Because nobody wants to just like lose or spend their money. So it's like, especially if your thing is like, oh, should I start the gym? So that's money. Oh, should I buy this, art pad for me to start drawing? No one wants to spend their money. So if you give yourself time to think, you will talk yourself out of, I'll just do it next paycheck, whatever. Yeah. And then you never do it. Because you're in the habit of always overthinking.
Yeah.
And see, the one thing that I really like and I want to try to start going by, right, is if you want to do something and and let's say your thoughts get to you start overthinking and stuff, and you start thinking, but I need money for this. Find a way to get to where you want to be by not having to spend money. You don't have to go to the gym. You got a floor, you have a gym. Get down and do push-ups. Stop making excuses.
Yeah.
I would say look at the long-term benefits.
Absolutely.
If you're overthinking, look at the long-term benefits.
Yep.
Because everything is an investment to yourself. If you're thinking, oh, this is I'm gonna have to spend money for a gym membership or anything like that. Well, it's an investment for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Over time, you're going to feel better, you're going to look better, and it's just mentally going to be better for you.
Yeah.
You get me? So why overthink something that is going to benefit you long term?
Yeah.
You get me? So it's just looking at the long term benefits. That's how I look at things when I'm starting something new.
The other thing about the money situation is that's what stops a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say you have a gym membership. Let's go with $25 a month. $25 a month. And let's add a $50 annual fee on it. Screw it. So it's like, So that's what, $350 a year, if I did the math right. $350 a year with the annual fee included. That $350 to you, if you change your mindset by going to the gym, if you look better, the $350 means nothing to you. Because at the end of the day, the money really means nothing.
True.
You know what I mean? What matters is how you live. It's not about the money that you're spending. As long as you're benefiting from it, I don't see a point not spending it.
And if you really wanted to, you would be resourceful enough. And I'm not even talking about fitness in itself. Like, that's one of the things. But if you're wanting to learn a skill or anything like that, the internet's free.
Yeah.
You get me? Everything that you want to know is on the internet. Any skill,
Yep.
anything. Google has certain classes that you could take for free.
Yeah.
To teach you a skill that you want to learn so you can get more money, so you can do more things. You get me? Because
Google has those certificates that they're just $30 a month, and you can learn a crazy skill that could even get you a job with Google, the biggest company on the planet.
human beings are resourceful. It's just how bad do you want it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, how bad is your why? And see, the thing is, like, whether you like the way you look, the way you think, whatever, whether you don't or do, you're stuck with your body and mind until you die.
Yep.
So why shouldn't you invest in the most important thing?
Make the best of
yourself.
it.
Yeah,
Make the
Invest
best.
in yourself.
absolutely.
Just get to work. Start learning. Invest in your mind. The way I see it, if you have control over your mind, right? If you can gain control over your mind, then you can gain control over your body. And those two things are the most essential things that you need to master.
Yes. There's a good way to do that if you're not sure. Like, how do I change my mind? Okay. Start with the most basic thing. Your breathing. Most people are not conscious about their breathing. And this is something that I learned, and I was like, okay. So there was a certain time when I wanted to become a Navy SEAL. And Navy SEALs, they go through really dangerous missions. But the way they calm down is by doing certain breathing techniques. And what I found was when you breathe differently, your heart rate doesn't stay the same. It changes. It changes its rhythm. Always. It's continuous, but it changes its rhythm. So it's never the same. So what I realized was when you change the way you breathe, you're unconsciously just breathing. You get me? So when you let out, breath or anything like that, you're just not even focusing on it. But what I realized is when you focus on your breath, you do like a box breath technique where you hold your breath for 4 seconds. You breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold your breath for 4 seconds, you breathe out for 4 seconds, and you breathe out for 4 seconds. It changes your heart rate. It makes you less anxious. It slows down your heart rate, and it makes you feel like more calmer so you can take on a task way better.
Yep.
And so when you start with a basic function like that, physiology, right? We're right back to it. When you start with a function just like that, you start learning how to change your mentality.
Yeah.
You get me? As simple as that. It starts with the little things and it builds momentum.
Yeah.
I've actually started to use that. Since you told me about that in a couple weeks, I started to use that in the gym.
Yeah, bro.
Especially on leg days when it's not just to calm me down, right?
Yeah.
It's more about changing my heart rate, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like it helps me in the gym even, not like breathing and stuff like that. It's important because it gives you oxygen. Oxygen goes to blood. Your brain needs blood, regulates hormones, chemicals, right?
Exactly.
So I don't know the exact chemicals, but even in the gym, like little stuff like that, even if you feel like overexerted, just do that, what's it called, box breath?
Yeah.
Box breath. Boom. You're big chilling.
When Navy SEALs, right before they go into a mission, a lot of them, they do that. Another one that I learned was if you're feeling anxious or like stressed out, here's a good one. I learned this from Dr. Andrew Huberman. He's a neurologist and a scientist. But he said, when you're feeling anxious or stressed out, another good technique to do is when you're taking a deep breath in, the airbags of your lungs are getting filled. But when you're breathing in and you feel like you're out of air, take another really quick. And what will happen is, it disrupts your system and everything, and you take a long deep breath out, and you won't feel as anxious and stressed out anymore.
Yeah.
So that's a really good one to do, and I usually do that. So it's just suggested if you guys want to do it, like for the viewer at home.
Yeah, I tried both of those. The box breath is what I usually use. Like for example, nosebleeds, I do that all the time. It actually calms because, like you said, it slows the heart rate and everything like that. That one I use almost all the time for anything, not just for nosebleeds, for working out all that. But that the second one you were talking about Huberman.
Yeah.
I can't necessarily breathe back in through my nose once my lungs are filled. So instead, I just I use my mouth instead, open my mouth and just, because it will allow that extra little just airbag in there.
Yeah.
And then you can do the long exhale, or you can do 15 small gaps of exhaling.
Yeah.
Which the 15 one is a little.
I think you have to use your mouth, because if you take the deepest breath possible with your nose is closed. So you straight up can't open it without letting air out. So you have to take the rest with your mouth.
Yeah.
Or vice versa, basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a good one too. I think breathing techniques are super important. Like,
it's a basic function, but it's really
if everyone uses it, right? Like you hear Navy SEALs using it, and then all the way on the other end of the spectrum, NFL players using breathing techniques, different stuff. Why, if that doesn't show you that you should be doing them, these people that are either literally the top of the military, I would say Navy SEALs are the top of the top.
Oh yeah,
insane.
And then making millions of dollars. If they're both doing it and being told to
shout out David Goggins.
You probably should do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I always look. If you're seeing someone very successful do something, and a lot of successful people doing it, it's like, okay, maybe there's just a reason they're being told to do this or have done it.
Yeah.
And maybe you should just try it, because you never know what could happen.
Exactly.
I mean, that's part of the reason why I use training masks and stuff when I work out, is because it forces you to be conscious of your breath that you're taking, because your oxygen is now limited. So you have to constantly be conscious, whether you're running, you're conscious of how you're breathing and stuff. Working out, push-ups, pull-ups, whatever. You have to be conscious of it, because if you're not taking the right amount of air, you're not breathing right, well, you might pass out. Because them training masks is no joke. But it actually helps, genuinely. And plus, when working out, you even though it's hard to keep your breath in and out and stuff, it's an essential you need to do. Because a lot of my issues, for example, and part of something that this training mask helps me with at least, is when I would do, for example, push-ups and stuff, I would get into my mind will shut off and I stop breathing for a second. And then that causes strain on the muscles and everything like that. You actually need to keep a good pace and steady pace of breathing and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
You know we're about to get a crazy workout after this, and we're planning it because all we talked about is working out.
Somebody asked, is this actually live or is it just a video played live?
It's just a video played live. I'm sorry. What was the name?
We're not real.
Fig Newton 0.
Shout out Fig Newton 0.
Shout out. You're now in a recorded video.
Yeah.
That's not.
Welcome to the Matrix, homie.
Yeah. We're both in our agents now.
Yeah. Welcome to the Matrix.
Where's my shades?
Shit.
Yo.
Speaking of the Matrix, let's just finish this up. We got, a couple more minutes.
Yeah.
We're going to do a short show today, so a couple more minutes.
Okay.
I just want to mention the Matrix, and it's getting crazy out here. I'm gonna be honest.
Honestly, that's what I was trying to say earlier in the freaking video.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
That's the thing.
Early in the video.
That's the gimmick now.
Video. That is just it's getting crazy as we're heading into 2023. Especially with the Matrix and everything. I call it the rat race.
Yeah.
But the Matrix, the rat race is the same thing.
2023 won't be the end of it, and I think it's only the beginning in terms of the censorship that's going to happen through video, through that. I think it's only going to get worse.
I mean, because think about it. This all started from 2020, new decade, where coronavirus hit. We were stuck in the homes, pandemic. From there, what was next? Freaking, just so many things started from
Well, yeah, 2020 was insane.
You get me?
But yeah, I believe it started somewhere around there. The problem is, I think what governments around the world are doing, anything like that. I'm not even just saying America because it's worldwide stuff.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, they want us to become desensitized to getting people that the public doesn't like off of their view, because then what's stopping them from taking anyone off? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then we're getting into the conversation we had a couple weeks ago about Fahrenheit 451. We're literally getting there.
Yeah.
We are literally getting there.
And see, you remember, what was it? What is it called? The pendulum, where it's like
The swing.
Yeah. My question is, because we're going so extreme, will it ever come back, or is
Well,
this not a case of that?
The issue is, like, in my pendulum scenario, that was, I would say, for politics, right?
Okay, yeah,
There's thousands of pendulums swinging at the same time.
yeah,
Yeah.
You know, we're swinging one way in terms of like the censorship and stuff, but at the same time we're swinging the other way on other issues. You know what I mean? There's thousands of pendulums swinging. So it's like in this issue, I think it's just the beginning. I don't think this is a pendulum though,
fair.
because this ain't no public opinion stuff. This is straight up like control is what it is.
Oh, yeah.
And people in power don't just give up control and swing the other way. That shit don't happen.
That's not.
Let me just say, I think you need both sides of the story.
Absolutely,
Oh, yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
You get me? Because somewhere in the middle lies the truth.
Yeah.
You get me? No matter how extreme, I feel like you need both sides of the story.
Yeah.
I believe, right? No matter what side you're on, you should want the full story. I think the problem right now is some people on both sides, if you want to think about it right and left, I think it's way deeper than that, would rather just hear what they want to hear and not actually hear what actually happened.
Yeah.
Like, I think regardless of the side you're on, in my opinion, this comes down to voting, right? Regardless of the side you're on, you should want a fair voting system in the United States, for example. No matter if your candidate loses or wins, you should want a fair system. You shouldn't, I don't care if it's corrupt if my guy wins. That is a awful way to think, because then they have power over you. If we just do what you want, we can do whatever we want.
Example. Let's say you watch Fox News, okay? And, you know, all you do is watch Fox News. At least tune in to CNN. See what they have to say. Just, you know, let the manipulation, allow the manipulation to see where the perpetrator wants you to go. And if you watch CNN, it's vice versa.
Yeah. Then
Vice
you get the
versa.
full story if you watch both
Exactly.
sides. Unfortunately, it's sides. That's the worst part, is that there are sides.
Shut off your emotions. Just watch what they have, the information that they're speaking to you.
Yeah.
You get me? Just that.
Yeah, I think the full problem is there's sides. There shouldn't be sides. Like,
Yeah.
that's what they want, though. They want the division.
Divide and conquer.
They want divide, but it's just,
Divide.
that's what you need to see is, as a citizen and someone that is an average Joe, right? Normal people, no matter how rich you are, you don't have power. You know what I mean? Like, you could be making $500,000 a year. You could be a doctor making tons of money. You still have no power.
No.
You know what I mean? Money can lead to power, but it doesn't mean you have power because you have money.
Right.
It's just, so no matter where you are, chances are you'll never be someone that actually makes decisions. And that's fine. The end goal is just make decisions for your life, right?
Yes.
But
because you have control over your own life, so you can succeed and accomplish everything that you want in your life.
yeah,
True.
chances are then I think as someone who would want the best for their life, you should also want like equality in certain things. You don't want control because you want control over your life. The more control you give up, the less control of your own life you have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just think it's a very weird way of thinking where some people are being blinded or like becoming desensitized to, you know,
One-sided
corruption
opinions.
and like just straight up false information. Fake news used to be this huge thing. Fake news is
I don't
normal
even
now.
hear anything about.
You don't
news.
see real news
No.
anymore. You don't see real news. Real news does not exist.
Honestly.
It's like back then, huge thing, right? Back in 2016. But now we're desensitized to it. And now maybe we talked about this the other show. You know what? This is going to be my last thing for this show.
No,
I'm going to shut up after this, and we talk about it next show or maybe somewhere down the line.
Okay.
I think, you know the old saying, don't believe everything you see on the internet? That has changed because the government has control over it now. Because the government has control over the internet now, they want you to believe everything. So that's why you never hear anymore.
Yeah.
Everyone believes what they see on the internet now. Mm-hmm. When it used to be, when I was a kid, don't believe everything you see on. I'm 21. That was like a decade ago.
Yeah.
And now we're to the point because the right people have control of it. They want you to believe everything you see on the internet.
Right.
So
look how fast that changes though, because like a decade might sound like a long time, but in the grand scheme of things, it's nothing.
Nope.
Like it is like a second if you really think about it. In the grand scheme of things, it hasn't taken long for them to really change the narrative, if anything. And if anything, they've been shortening. They've been making it shorter, the amount of time it takes to change something like somebody's opinion or views or whatever, to a point where it's probably gonna get to a point where you can just change it in a day, probably, because people are just headstrong. Okay,
that's
you
what
tell
they
me
did in
this.
Fahrenheit.
Yeah,
that's literally what they did in Fahrenheit.
Literally,
they were
like
changing
within a
They were
day.
changing things in a day. Is what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
God,
that book is so good.
I remember who just wrote it. I don't know how that popped in my head. George Orwell.
Yeah, the book is good.
Go.
Because it's crazy how much a whole group of people's like, oh no, he's like a really cool person. We know each other, family, whatever. Next thing you know, he has a book. Kill him! Like, dang, what? How did we get here? And like within 24 hours. But
I recommend reading Fahrenheit 451 if you haven't actually read it, right?
Yeah,
it's literally like, I think it's 200 pages, like, and it's a storybook,
Yeah,
so you can probably get through it in literally maybe a week.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it might be I don't know if it's considered a short story.
It's not a short story,
no,
but
no.
I'm saying any like fictional book like that, you can get through way quicker than a nonfiction book. Does that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like you can read 30 pages of a creative like writing.
Oh yeah.
But like in terms of like, you know, if you're reading a motivational book or something, you can get like 5 to 7 pages and your brain is fried.
Yeah.
So
speaking of that, I don't know why this was reminding me. You saying the brain is fried or whatever reminded me. You were talking about how like your mind. Shouldn't have said this probably. Dang, I'm stuttering. That stutter has been crazy this week. Based about how your mind is only like allows itself to like be on one certain task for like, what is it, like an hour and 30
okay,
stuff.
yeah. So,
but why not push that limit? Why just say, okay, I'll agree to that? Why not just force yourself to continue on a task longer than that?
Okay. So when I was talking about that, I was meaning like, okay, when we focus on something, our brain can only focus on something for 15 to an hour and a half when we're really like focused on a task.
Yeah.
Other than that, if you push it beyond any further, you start distracting you start becoming more distracted.
I don't think you can push that any further. I think that's just like the brain's limit, like straight up.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you could train it to do more. You know what I mean?
But what I was
I want to test that.
what I was trying to say was, if you're like doing deep work sessions, try to like, if you can't do an hour and a half and you start like looking at your phone or you start doing something else, try 30 minutes, 15 minutes most. 15, 30 minutes, start with that because that will develop a pattern. And from there, you take a break for 15 minutes, 15 minutes, you do something else, you come back to that and you do it for another 30 minutes. You get me?
Yeah.
And you'll find you'll be able to get way more work done doing it in that kind of schedule. You get me?
Yeah.
Because that's the way I divide my time. I do like 30 minutes reading, 30 minutes looking at charts, 30 minutes at developing this new skill that I'm learning, and just in that sense. And so, as time goes by, this pattern will develop, and I'll be able to do it for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And my mind will really stay focused on that task. And so that's basically like what I was trying to say is that if you can't focus on something for a certain amount of time, try with a little bit, and then work your way up.
Yeah.
All right, final thing, and then we wrap this thing up. I just want to go on that. The other thing that could help with extending your time of you doing something is change your scenery. You know what I mean? If you're writing something on your laptop in your room and you start like freaking out, right? Like you're starting to go on your phone a little bit, go outside. And you'll see you'll be able to still focus on that one task just because you changed your surroundings. You can also apply that like even simpler. If you're sitting down typing, stand up and type. You just change the elevation of what you're at and you'll be able to focus just because you changed your surroundings. So that's a way to add some time to that.
Yeah.
If you can't focus. The other thing is throw your phone in the other room because it's a piece of shit.
Yeah, true.
So,
boys, this was a great episode. There's so many topics that we talked about.
yeah.
And I think I want to go get my workout in.
Yes,
So
sir.
I will
Yeah.
see you guys in the next episode.